Hello everyone, it's Tess. Happy Saturday. I hope you're up and getting around. I've been up for a while. Even pre-pandemic, I've always liked to take care of as much errand running as I can before most of the world gets up and going. And I'm just kind of still sticking to that. And with it being the weekend, this is a good time for me to get some stuff out of the way. So I already took care of a bunch of stuff this morning. And today I decided, my mom and I, when we've been walking, we've been talking a lot about like brain health, and I wanted to do a little bit of looking into that because all of our body comes together in one package. And I thought, well, I wonder if I looked into brain health, what kind of recommendations they would have for keeping your brain sharp into life. Because I've talked about even my work requires a sharp mind. And ironically, it all relates back to health and how we fuel our body and how we are active with our body. So I thought it would be something that I would share. I looked at an article, there's several articles that Mayo Clinic released, and the one that I'm taking most of my quotes from is called 5 Tips to Keep Your Brain Healthy, and it was from 2020. I think that one was from June of 2020. And what I really liked about it is that it truly supports everything that we've all been hearing about better health. So the side effect of doing the things to make our bodies healthier makes our brains healthier. And we all want those healthy brains. We all have seen family members or friends that have struggled with brain issues later in life. So if we can, we want to curb it. So the first tip that Mayo Clinic talked about was exercise regularly. And in exercising regularly, they said that, good morning, Sam. So they were talking, so just to kind of recap, I decided to talk about a healthy mind. My mom and I have been talking about that a lot, and it actually relates to everything we're doing for better health. To have a healthy mind, you're going to have a healthy body, so it all comes together. We may as well just get busy with it. And the first step they talked about is exercise, and it just says being physically active. You will experience, they're finding in studies that you experience a decline in mental function if you're not active. And they weren't specific about they said that you don't have to do like running marathons, just be physically active, walking something. They're saying 30 to 60 minutes several times a week. And why they believe this is important is that it gets your blood pumping, and that blood actually fuels your brain. So you want to be somewhat active. You don't want to be a couch top you don't want to be sitting on the couch all the time and never move, because then it probably will cause other issues with blood pooling in your body. So a little bit of activity is great for all of us. The second thing I talked about, and I know some people struggle with this, is sleep. It said that this is important because it lets your body consolidate memories and it clears abnormal proteins. And that's what some studies are showing according to Mayo Clinic. And they're recommending that you try to get 7 to 8 consecutive hours of sleep, that's really important. And I think I've found that that's true too, and that's why I kind of follow a pattern. I go to bed at the same time, I get up at the same time. I follow the same routines because my body operates better. If I go to bed at this time, I wake up at this time, it just flows. It just works better, and I can get my day going, and it feels good. The next thing, we've heard a lot about this, and this I'm going to say is not a fad diet because it's never disappeared in many, many years. It says eat Mediterranean, which is basically plant-based, fish, whole grains. Oh, thanks, Sam. Fish, whole grains, healthy oil, olive oil, less red meat. And these are things that we've all been hearing about for years. And whether you want to call it your healthy eating program or whether you want to eat less red meat, all of this about the Mediterranean is kind of very similar to what Doc V kind of encourages in our group. And really basically what he tells us to do is green smoothie, big salad, and then what we would normally eat for dinner. But we're trying to also control the number of calories. And good morning, Kate. And then also to get in a lot of water. So I think that's Mediterranean diet. It just doesn't go away, and it kind of falls back into that plant-based fish, grains, and healthy oil. And if that's going to support my brain and support my health goals, then why not do it? It does also talk about that, this article talked about that omega-3 seem to decrease the risk of coronary artery disease, and it increases mental acuity and slows cognitive decline. So these are things my mom and I have been talking about, but these all support getting healthy. So why not do it and do it now? The fourth item that it talked about was staying mentally healthy. And that's by doing, and boy, my grandma was on the money on this, doing crossword puzzles, Sudoku, jigsaw puzzles. And what it also said is cross-train. So not only do we physically active cross-train, but our mental activities need to be cross-trained. So it says, if you do crossword puzzles, and my mom and I were talking about this yesterday, ironically, but if you do crossword puzzles, switch to Sudoku or grab a jigsaw puzzle or find different ways to make your brain work without falling into a pattern, because it's just like the same thing. We shouldn't eat the same thing every day. We shouldn't exercise the same way every day. We want to build a broader base of tools to help our body. Good morning, good morning. So the last one, and this is the one that's probably caused a lot of people difficulty in this past year, and it's to be socially involved. And I know that for myself, all of you guys have helped me to stay socially involved. We are still struggling. I'm in a state that is skyrocketing, whether you believe it's real or you believe it's not real. I just choose to take precautions because I just don't want to be one of the numbers. And really, it's not even worth getting worried about. You just take your steps and move forward. But the socially involved, I think if you keep yourself positive, if you have friends online, like you guys are all a great support system to me. I walk with my mom every day or my dad. I see my parents probably 5 times a week easily. They live within the same city block as me, so I see them all the time. But it says to keep that social activity, or I'll wave at the girls next door, or, you know, the families. So there's a little bit of social activity because you don't want to become depressed and isolated, because that's important too. So I guess really to sum up this article, I was looking at brain health because it was something my mom and I were talking about and something that we want to be healthy going forward. And just like everything else we learn, it starts with a healthy body. And by that, it more or less is said, grab your gym shoes and be active 30 to 60 minutes several times a week. Make sure you're getting that 7 to 8 hours of sleep in. Like Doc V would say, grab a big salad, put on some veggies, maybe some nuts and a few seeds, olive oil, dressing of some sort. And then when you're done with your walk, you can sit down with friends and family members so you get that social interactivity, building a puzzle or doing Sudoku, or maybe you can do some arts and crafts together. But I do believe that this all comes together, and if we can take, oh, hi, Dolly, good morning. I'm seeing more people now. Of course, I don't have to be to work early this morning because it's the weekend. But so I thought that was really interesting because like I said, my mom and I have been talking about brain health lately, and all parts of brain health are in line with what we need to do to keep our body healthy. So just as a quick reminder, because I know I have a couple people that just signed on, healthy mind falls right in line with healthy body. And so what you want to do is make sure you're exercising regularly. You want to make sure it's about 30 to 60 minutes several times a week, but start slow so that you have the habit forever. Sleep 7 to 8 hours consecutive, because that allows your body to get rid of abnormal proteins, and it just helps things clean house while you're resting. Eat a Mediterranean base, the fish, the grains, the healthy oils, the olive oils, that kind of tends to be supportive of the brain, and it decreases it seems the omega-3 decreases the risk of coronary artery and increases mental and slows cognitive decline. Staying mentally healthy with, like we were saying, puzzles, crafts, jigsaw, Sudoku, anything you can, but diversify them, because just like exercise, the more you diversify, the stronger it makes your brain, because it actually referred to your brain as a muscle. So it's a muscle that you want to work in different ways. And then stay socially involved. Even though we are still kind of in a pandemic and my area is really knee deep in it, just make sure, like you guys are a way for me to social interact. I walk with my parents. I wave at the girls next door. If there's some way, just keep socially connected so that you don't go into any type of a depression. So like the rest of you, I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. I've got my 7 to 8 hours of sleep. My gym shoes are on. I'll get that. I got some ingredients for the salad, and I'll spend some time with my parents and maybe build a puzzle, or maybe we'll do some gardening outside. I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you for being part of my social network. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.